What is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. Hey, in this video I'm going to be talking with you guys about this whole idea of 1v3's and 2v3's in trials. Kind of have a conversation about this whole spectrum that I will show you, and all the different schools of thought, and sort of where different content creators fall on that spectrum. And this is in response to some of the requests that I've had from people lately about doing more 1v3's and different challenges to do those 1v3's. And long story short, I stopped doing 1v3's, and I will talk about why in this video. Now, there's this spectrum I'm going to talk about, and on this spectrum there's not a lot of agreement even among various content creators. We fall all over the place, but here's one thing to keep in mind. I expect lots of different opinions in the comment section. I expect lots of different opinions from lots of different people, and it's okay to have different opinions. It's okay to disagree, as long as we disagree graciously. You don't want to just burn bridges and throw around insults over minor disagreements. So try to be respectful in the comment section. And I understand people can tend to get a little heated over these sorts of conversations. So please don't look down on anyone. Don't even don't stop supporting various content creators according to their opinions on this matter either. This is a matter of preference. It would be like, you find out that your friend prefers their donuts with raspberry jelly filling, and you prefer yours with just a simple glaze and some sprinkles, and you decide to end your friendship over that little difference in preference. This is not a big deal, so let's be respectful in the way that we have this conversation, but let's also dive right into it. So here is the spectrum I'm going to talk about. This sort of line here, and where the various content creators and known competitors in the community, some of them, not all of them, just using a few examples, some of the more well-known examples here, where they fall on that spectrum. So you guys probably know that it's a popular thing to do 1v3 challenges in Trials of Osiris these days, and I've done 1v3s. I've done the whole thing where you invite players into your fire team, and then they drop out at the beginning of the match and leave you to do a one-man against a team of 3 in Trials of Osiris and see if you can win. Basically, here's the reason why I stopped 1v3s. This is the way that I see it, okay? And again, I don't look down on anyone who does it. This is just my opinion. But I stopped doing it because I felt bad about it. That's the long story short. I felt bad about it. Because essentially, here's what you're trying to do, okay? You are trying to abuse the matchmaking system in Trials of Osiris. You're trying to find an easy team. You're trying to find a mismatch, because at the bottom end of the card, when you have no wins on your card, because this is what people do, they go in with no wins on the card, try and get matched up against an easy team that they can stomp in a 1v3 in Trials. You're trying to abuse the fact that skill isn't a factor in matchmaking in Trials of Osiris. It's all connection and wins on the card. So you have a really good chance to get paired up against a team that cannot compete with you. You have a really good chance of getting a severe mismatch. So basically you're hoping to be able to walk into a room of first graders and beat them all up, and then put it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's the way that I see it. I felt like I was abusing the matchmaking system to beat up and embarrass 3 players who are pretty casual gamers just trying to have fun. And then if that's not enough, I'm then going to take the gameplay and put it on YouTube and drag their names through the mud. Now, my whole channel is built on the idea of helping casual gamers and gamers of all skill levels improve. And I feel like that is really counterintuitive to what I'm trying to accomplish on my channel. It just didn't seem like it fit the kind of, maybe the kind of gamer that I am, the kind of content that I want to publish on my channel. So that is why I stopped doing it. Didn't feel good about it. And if you think that this is not true, think about how many times, if you've ever watched live streams, and again, I'm not going to name names or anything, and I'm not going to try and embarrass anybody or look down on anybody, but some content creators will actually get upset about matching a good team when they get a fresh card. they'll have no wins on the card, they'll get matched up against a team of competent players with decent elos, and they will lose, and they will be visibly and vocally upset about getting a tough team. Now, I think that's, you know, that just reaffirms it. You're just looking for easy people to beat up, and in my opinion, that's not impressive. I didn't feel like I did anything positive when I went against a team that was severely mismatched and I destroyed them. I didn't feel good about it. I didn't feel like I accomplished anything at all. So that's why I stopped with 1v3s. Okay, well, TV, you still do 2v3s, don't you? Yeah, I do. Isn't that pretty much the same thing? Some people would say yes, but I would disagree. I don't think that it's at all the same thing in a 2v3 because the goal is different. The motivation is different. My goal is not to go with Apex Chris on Monday mornings, start on a fresh card, and go play. The goal isn't to get mismatched against an easy team and dominate them and put the footage on YouTube. The goal is not to go in with 0 wins, come out with 1 win, and then feel good about it. That's not the idea. The idea is to play against good teams at the top end of the card, to challenge yourself to go flawless. The goal is to go flawless and beat good teams so that it's actually impressive. Now, you can even use that footage and break that down to do something positive for your community because you showed yourself actually going up against good adversity and coming out on top. So there's a lot more merit to that, if you get me, okay? And some people would say, well, isn't it still embarrassing for the other team? I don't think so, not in the same regard, no, because these teams, it's different when you're going up against, for example, I think there's a big difference between 1 person and 2 people. Because some people do double carries, some people do single carries, and a team of 2 really good players is pretty comparable to a team of 1 really good player and 2 mediocre players, you know what I mean? And also, how many of us would be embarrassed if we got matched up, if our Trials team got matched up against Hush and N-Cooch, or Dr. Lupo and Ramblin'? How many of us would actually be embarrassed if we lost to those duos? I don't know about you, but I would not be embarrassed at all. In fact, to be 100% transparent, I have actually lost matches where it's a 2-man team against me, where they maybe have someone who DCs at the beginning of the match. This has happened twice to me on stream, where I have a full team of 3 and we lose to a team of 2, and what we say is congratulations, good job, holy cow, you guys played amazing. And it's not something to be embarrassed about. It just means that team fought an uphill battle and came out on top, and they deserve kudos for it. So I see the 2v3s as very different. It's not about winning 1 match on the low end of the card and beating up people. It's about winning all your matches and playing against good teams on the high end of the card. See, that's the distinction there. So I'm okay with 2v3s. So you may know, the 1v3 players that you may know of. N-Cooch does this a lot. Sir Demetrius does this a lot. So they're sort of on that end of the spectrum. In the 2v3s, you get Ramblin' and Lupo do this a lot. They're known for 2v3s. I do 2v3s with Apex Chris, and we're okay with that. And then on the lowest end of the spectrum, there's a good friend of mine who has my utmost respect. KJ Hovey would say, I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about 2v3s. I don't feel good about 1v3s. My goal is always to help people, not to embarrass or hurt people. He still feels bad about 2v3s, and I think that's above reproach. You can't criticize that in any capacity, erring on the side of caution. And so he's the kind of guy who would say only 3v3s unless there's a malfunction, someone gets DC'd. But otherwise, he'll stick to the 3v3s, not the 2v3s. But he's gracious about it. He doesn't look down on any of the 1v3ers or the 2v3ers. And that's the way it definitely should be. So that's where I fall on the log and where some of these others fall on the log. I'd be interested to hear your opinions. I would encourage you, don't stop supporting these content creators, regardless of whether or not you agree with them, because this isn't a big deal. It's just a personal preference, a personal standard. So respect above all else. And I will also just close out with this. If you go and you stir up trouble on anyone else's channel and you drop my name, like TV says this is a really scummy thing to do, I will be very upset. I will be highly upset. So don't expect to be able to comment on my channel if you're gonna use my name against my friends. So just throwing that out there as well. So thank you for stopping by the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you hopefully in the Crucible.